Hello, hello. Welcome to a new edition of New Gameplay Today. I am your host, Wesley LeBlanc. Today, I am joined by Game Informer's very own Marcus Stewart. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing really great, and that is because I have been playing a little game called Nier Automata. Or is it Automata? Or is it Automata? How do you say
After 5 years, I still get self conscious saying it out loud, but I
it?
generally go with automata.
Okay, me too, because this is like the first time I've said it out loud, actually, which is why I was like, huh, maybe I've been saying it wrong all these years.
Yeah,
I've been
it's like
playing
seeing
this.
Harry Potter for the first time. You're like, oh man, we're gonna finally learn how Hermione's name sounds.
Right? Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people did the what is it?
I
Hermione?
said, yeah, I said Hermione reading the
Yeah.
books as a kid and felt like an idiot.
But yeah, so we're giving you just a little taste of Nier on Switch. It is out this week. So if you're excited to play this game or you haven't yet played it yet, this week could be a great one for you. I kind of wanted to start with this. This is near very close to the beginning of the game. If you're worried about spoilers, don't worry because we do not spoil much. I just wanted to showcase this because it is an interesting and kind of unusual in a game like this aspect of Nier, which is these weird. What's the title for these kinds of games where you're flying in a ship? Isn't there a genre name? I'm blanking on
Oh,
it.
bullet hell usually is the go to.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, bullet hell. Not the biggest aspect of the game, but they're in there nonetheless. How do you feel about these sections? 5 years off of the original release of this game.
Yeah, this is an interesting way to show the game because like this is not the majority of the game, but I remember thinking they were fine. I'm a decent enough fan of Bullet Hell. I think it's cooler in the meat of the game, which is the third person kind of stylish action. This was Platinum Games that made this, so their bread and butter. But I like how they incorporate the Bullet Hell elements into that style of gameplay rather than these more traditional ones. But I remember thinking they were fine.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that. Um, and so yeah, speaking of the gameplay that you were talking about, that is kind of what we're cutting to now, which is this is the bread and butter of Nier Automata. And so we're in one of the opening areas called the City Ruins, which has one of my favorite soundtracks in all of video games. What are your thoughts on Nier's music? For me, that's kind of like the highlight of the show.
Oh, it was one of my favorite soundtracks of 2017. I think it's phenomenal. There's still a few songs that I hum to myself. I won't say any like specific locations, out of fear of spoilers, but there's definitely I think people probably think of the same tracks that I'm
Mhm.
probably thinking of when they think about like the amazing score in this game. It's top notch.
Yeah, I have a playlist that is just remixes of one specific track from this game, which you can probably guess which one, if you've played it, because it is so good. But yeah, so I went hands on with the Switch version. This is my gameplay right here. And so Nier's an older game. It's been out for 5 years, so we're not really here to dive into the post game analysis of all the different endings and stuff like that. But I kind of wanted to just talk about the Switch version, which as you can see, it runs pretty well. It's a pretty stable 30 frames, and I haven't really seen any frame rate glitches, save for like one strange area where it just kind of dropped out of nowhere. And then visually, in my opinion, Nier wasn't always like the most visually stunning game.
Oh no,
And
it
so
looked dated in 2017.
yeah, exactly. So like the Switch version isn't like really compromising on the vision of the game. It definitely looks worse than, on PlayStation or Xbox or even PC. But like playing Near on the go is a treat to itself, and the visuals, as you can see in the back kind of there, that building has not loaded in. You'll see a lot of that, but I think the game is worth, playing despite that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
the graphics are not the highlight of Nier. Like it looks fine, and I think the character models are better than the environments. But
mhm.
I think that kind of works to the Switch version's advantage of like since the original version wasn't like the most stunning game, you're not really sacrificing a lot on the visual front if you decide that you want to play this game on the go because it's more about everything else in the game in terms of the combat and especially the storytelling is the real sort of like centerpieces of what makes Automata so great.
Yeah, agreed. And just a quick tip for new players: you should save pretty much any time you can because sometimes you'll wish you did. I lost like an hour earlier this week in this game because I forgot to save. So
That's
you'll
right.
see
This
me
does
save.
have auto saves, right? Like
Nope.
it's
Yeah,
like
none.
yeah, that's right.
It has like moments where it's like, do you want to save? The screen will just come up and let you do it, like before boss fights or story moments, I think. But yeah, you have to like manually save at these areas, and the little boxes that you save at also unlock key parts of the map. So you'll kind of get into the habit of doing that.
Yeah, and
But
there's a narrative reason for why it's designed the way that it is. Um,
yes, yeah.
but it also
uh,
is still inconvenient.
yeah, I kind of wish that they were just like, you know what, forget the narrative for this element, but that's okay. And so we've kind of touched on two of the biggest aspects and two of our favorite aspects of the game, which is combat and story. What are your thoughts on the combat overall?
I think the combat starts out pretty simple, but it gets better as you go. You know, you collect those I forget what they were called, but the sort of chips that you equip that give you different sort of like abilities, and then also using your little drone robot guy there. I forget its name. It's been 5 years. Kind of using him as a long range attack, because you can shoot with him independently. So it's almost kind of like Platinum reworking the sort of like melee and range combat of like Devil May Cry or Bayonetta in sort of a new form. But yeah, the combat definitely gets better as the game goes on, but I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm kind of in the same boat. It's not. It leaves a little to be desired, especially like you mentioned in the opening hours. You kind of are just pressing one or two buttons. But as you like upgrade your chips and upgrade your little robot guy, and even find new weapons, I do think it gets better. And then the other aspect of this game that I think most Nier fans would say is the highlight of Nier Automata is the story. We can't dive too deep into the story. If you're familiar with it, we cannot talk about any of the endings really. But like, what are your thoughts overall on the story? Looking back at it 5 years now.
I think the story is awesome. It's my favorite aspect of this game. And again, we can't get into specifics, and not that I would anyway, but it's one of those games that really keeps you guessing throughout, and there's a lot of very cool twists and a lot of very poignant moments that work well with those twists. Like there's some very big emotional beats that you probably won't see coming. But yeah, I think just the commentary about like the nature of humanity and being alive and stuff, like those are things that have been done to death in similar games. But I think this game's take on that stuff is really fascinating. And yeah, I think it's if you're gonna play Autonoma for any reason, and notice how I'm switching from Automata to Automata, trying to please both crowds. If you're gonna play this game for any reason, it really is the narrative.
Yeah, I agree. And have you played Nier Replicant, or I guess the original Nier for that matter?
I played.
Original Nier for that matter. Whew.
I never played US Nier, but I did play Replicant last year and finish it.
Okay, I have not played Replicant. Like, what is that the move now that I've played this one, or are they not connected, or like what's the situation there?
Oh boy, you're opening a can of worms with that one. They technically are connected in a very weird and like almost like roundabout way, but in general, like if you like Automata, it is worth playing Replicant. I like Automata better, but Replicant's good. Like it's fun and it's got its own kind of like interesting story. So like yeah, if you're a fan of this game, I think Replicant's totally worth checking out.
Okay, cool. I might have to do that. I think I have it. I just haven't played it. But playing Automata again makes me think I should go back and play some Replicant. But yeah, so we're kind of wrapping up our time here with Nier Automata. Again, I think I just said it in a totally new way. Again, this is the Switch version. It's out this week. It's out either October 5th or October 6th, depending on where you are. And yeah, if you have not played this game yet, I absolutely think it's worth playing. And I think playing it on Switch, be it handheld or on your TV, is absolutely a totally fine thing to do. Don't feel like you need to play a PlayStation or Xbox or PC version. The Switch version is great. And yeah, we would love to hear your thoughts on Nier if you've played it before, or if you're checking it out for the first time this week. Bookmark this and come back and let us know in the comments. Marcus, thank you so much for joining me this week.
Yeah, no problem. And have fun playing Nier, and let us know how much you cried playing it.
Alrighty, bye everybody.